September 27th, 2020. Ozone does a live stream where he's playing Among Us with his fans. At the time, that's exactly what I was. I was just a fan who had a little over 3,000 subscribers. But Ozone at the time, I think, had about 7 or 8,000. But I don't remember exactly, but he had more than I did, and obviously he still does. Really, I was just a fan of Ozone, but I was in his Discord server and I got to play Among Us with him. That was awesome, and I turned it into an absolute dog shit video. A few months later, on January 4th, Ozone invited me to a FNAF content creator server. And that was really cool. That was a really important part of my YouTube career. I don't really know if it's actually a career, but like, I'll just say career, because like, I mean, I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, that was a really important part of my YouTube career because it connected me with a bunch of really cool people like InkyInc _ Johnny Blocks, and even some people who at this point are some of my best friends, like Psychic, Libra, Krakoa, and most of all, Arcade Endo. About another month later, Ozone did a live stream discussing FNAF theories with a bunch of other people, including me, which was also really cool. 2 days after that, I messaged Ozone asking if I was able to join the Minezone SMP, his Minecraft server, and Ozone said that I could. I joined the Minezone SMP, which is one of the best things to happen to me in my YouTube career because Minecraft is in my top 3 favorite games in the world, only being beaten out by FNAF as a whole and Spider-Man PS4. Minecraft is so fun for me, and Minezone had its own storyline. The first server, Minezone, had some storyline and lore, but not nearly as much as the server that started after it ended, Inkwell. And after Inkwell was the Inkwell SMP Daybreak, which is still going on now. But in these servers, there was a fully fledged storyline made by people like Psychic, Inky _, and on the servers, some people had their own storyline. And on Minezone, I created my own. The story evolved and changed over time, but in this video I'm going to explain the entirety of my storyline as I've made it all the way up to now. This will be including all the events within the service, such as things you've seen in my videos in the past, whether it be regular gameplay videos or the lore videos, or things that weren't explicitly clear that I wanted to clarify. If you haven't been into the lore of these servers, I think that if you want to know my perspective, this video is a good place to start. I think the storyline of these servers overall, including events that will happen in the future and that happen in other people's storylines, is a really good story. And I think if you haven't been interested in it in the past, that you might be if you took the time to see how the story has progressed since Minezone. Really hope you guys like this video because this ended up being my longest video script since my original FNAF timeline. But let's start talking about the ImpulseEvan side of the story on Minezone, Inkwell, and the Inkwell SMP Daybreak. Let's go. I was just the assistant to the mayor of a city on the server before Minezone. But this server had actually come full circle. It's not technically before Minezone. What do I mean by this? Well, there was Minezone, then Inkwell Daybreak, then a couple resets after that, and then the world reset to this server. So civilians of the city had memories from the previous servers. They remembered some of the events of Minezone, but not all of them. The most revolutionary of the memories was the Sands of Time machine that Psyche created on Minezone that brought everyone back to the early stages of the Minezone server. See, in every server, there's this thing called the reset that happens at the end of every server. It basically resets the entire world and removes all progress, everything from the prior iteration. Some people remember the previous events, but everyone's memories are usually stored deeper in everyone's minds. Sometimes the reset misses out on some people, and sometimes it creates entire new people. Some people from Minezone weren't on Inkwell, but also returned for Daybreak. Some people were on Inkwell and Daybreak who weren't on Minezone. Basically, there had been numerous resets since Minezone. The first reset from Minezone was Inkwell, and the one after that was Daybreak. And after that were a few more. That's subject to change depending on how many servers we end up doing, but that's not important. But since people's memories aren't always kept, a lot of information from Minezone, Inkwell, and Daybreak weren't passed on to the one from my origin. But one of the very few things that were was the Sands of Time machine. Many scientists in this world tried recreating it to go back and interact with everyone from the original Minezone server, but no one ever could, except one experiment done by a scientist named Dr. Briggs. He built a replica of the machine, but when he activated it to test it, it disappeared. He had no idea where it went. But we'll get back to that later. One day, my city is overrun. and most civilians are either killed or kidnapped. There were only 3 survivors left: Dr. Briggs, me, and my friend RC. And yes, this is me casually inserting Arcade Endo into the Inkwell and Minezone canon. Anyway, us survivors created a couple of bases to live in. One was a cave underground, and the other was an old desert temple that Dr. Briggs renovated into a lab for him to work. He understood my anger. Our city, our people, were almost completely wiped out. I was angry. Who wouldn't be? But Dr. Briggs knew he could help me, so we began working on a potion. This potion was intended to remove any and all negative emotion from one's brain. He managed to create a highly experimental prototype of the potion. He was almost finished when the terrorists who destroyed the city returned to find Dr. Briggs developing a potion. They didn't know what kind of potion it was, so they saw him as a threat and executed him. A few weeks later, there was a huge explosion from the desert temple, and RC went to check what it was. He found that the whole lab had been destroyed, and in the center of it was the Sands of Time machine, the one that had disappeared. It had returned. Kind of. But again, I'll get to that later. The machine was broken, but RC was pretty good with mechanics and stuff like that, so he was able to repair it. RC found the potion and Dr. Briggs' notes about it as well. He took it and left the potion in a chest in the cave he and I were staying in. He also left me a note telling me that if I wanted to, I could take the potion, and also use the machine to start a new life in the Minezone world. The machine would send me back multiple resets, and bring me to the start of Minezone. So I did. I went to the desert temple, and I found the machine. I went inside to see what would happen, but I realized too late that there was nothing I could do, except take the potion. As it turns out, the same button to open the door into the machine is the same button to turn it on. So I went inside as it was activated, which was a good thing, because the activation of the machine actually triggered this world's reset. What's happening? Is it the machine, or is it me? But I was saved from it, because I was transported back to the Minezone iteration. In real life, I wasn't on Minezone until a few months after it started, but in the storyline of the server, I was there at the beginning of the server, but the machine transported me thousands of blocks away from everything else. In this instance of the reset, my memories were completely locked away, but they were locked away with the part of my mind that had just been created. The part of my mind that isn't capable of losing memories in the reset, because the reset transports memories deep into the mind, the same place that my newly born, split personality resides. After a few months, I finally made it to spawn, where I found a few people on the server, Ozone, Psychic, and a few others. Ozone was nice enough to give me some wood and one single diamond, and I was now a part of the server, which was nice. Since I didn't have my memories, I didn't know anything went wrong. I didn't know that the potion didn't work the way it was supposed to, because I had no idea there even was a potion. The server went by pretty casually, besides the fact that a war was brewing between the new council and the resistance. The new council wanted peace through specific rules to make sure nothing ever happens again, like what happened to Psychic's parrot, Blueberry.
To make sure nothing like Blueberry's death happens again, to purge all evil from the world, basically.
I'm gonna give it to you. It was peace through rules and order.
Okay.
Resistance was like, nah, screw peace.
Yeah.
Psychic ended up asking me to join the new council, and everything was good. We did a few things to show that we were winning this war, or whatever, I don't know. We also blew up Ozone's Coliseum to send a message that we were superior to the resistance, and everything was going well until Psychic's Survival Island event. The event was basically that there were a bunch of islands around a volcano, and people had to stay alive and not die. I lost pretty early on, but I did stay at the islands so that I could hang out with people still and see who ended up winning. Before I died though, I was hanging out with Psychic pretty late at night. I wanted a fox because there were a few around and I just love them. And Psychic decided to give me a baby fox. I wanted to bring him home with me, so I put him in a boat. But as it turns out, the boat was too small and the fox still ended up drowning. And this sent me into a spiral. For a long time, the other half of me stayed dormant. But once he saw that I was upset at such a small thing, he had enough. He came out. He started taking control of my body while I was sleeping. He started committing acts of evil. He blew up an old village and ruined portal disguised as the resistance. In retaliation, Psychic built in place of the old Colosseum, the Crimson Colosseum. At this point, I didn't even know who was doing all this. But then he revealed himself, with a large number of signs, to not be the resistance but someone else entirely. Someone incredibly egotistical, who believed they could take over the server by force. In retaliating signs, Psychic called this individual a Hotshot, and they responded once again, but this time signing their name off as Hotshot. It seems the nickname stuck, even to this day, something Psychic deeply regrets. Hotshot continued causing evil until he took over my body for a few weeks to create an event. It was a murder mystery event that took place in a recreation of Wayne Manor. But the purpose of the event wasn't for fun, it was for Hotshot to reveal himself. He literally blew up the entire mansion to try and kill everyone inside so there would be no one left to stop him. But somehow, everyone survived. And even to this day, I don't know how, not that I'm complaining. Boom.
That was more scary without the reveal being scary. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm flying into the sky. I am in lots of pain. Oh boy, run away. I think I have found the agent.
I'm alive.
I don't think we take damage.
Wait, why aren't you guys taking damage? Oh.
Psychic, just slash kill everybody except me, alright?
How are you guys alive? I mean, I just ran out.
It's all gone! I was able to take back control of my body and explain to everyone what was going on, or at least as far as I knew. Hotshot was like an evil split personality. I'm not the evil one, he is. But what actually happened? How does Hotshot exist? Basically, the potion wasn't finished. Instead of removing all negative emotions, it instead separated my good and bad emotions into two separate beings. Hotshot was entirely made up of my anger, my sadness, and everything bad that my character felt. But until much later, I didn't even know that. But Hotshot did. Hotshot didn't forget anything. But Hotshot was shunned by everyone. He was always intruding in my day-to-day life. In my normal conversations, there was always just an angry voice saying evil things out of nowhere. It was driving me and all my friends essentially insane. So we all shunned him, and he went dormant for the last month of Minezone. There was a war, and really no one won. But no one lost either. The reset was almost here, but at this point none of us knew that except Underscore. But Hotshot knew. After the war, Hotshot returned to say that he changed, that he was good now. But he isn't. Hotshot was made up of all my negative and evil emotions. It is physically impossible for him to change. He claims he did, but he didn't. He says he is good now, and he apologizes for all he did. But because Hotshot knew about the reset and how it works, he believed that if I experienced the reset properly and knew how it worked, that I would ask questions about our lives before Minezone. So Hotshot decided to hide the actuality of the reset from me. My vision faded to white, and in front of us appeared a portal. As it turns out, in order to hide the true way of the reset, Hotshot built a portal so that I would go in as the reset happened. So from my perspective, that portal led me to the next server. But it was just a diversion. He was faking me out. I woke up at spawn with most other people of the server. The new server, Inkwell. This reset didn't work quite properly though, and the server was really glitchy. Not only functionality wise in real life, but also canonically. The main spawn area was glitched and we couldn't break any blocks there. But eventually, most things got sorted out. Until I started hearing voices in my head. Hotshot. I started hearing Hotshot, but at the time, I didn't have my memories back yet, so I didn't know who Hotshot was yet. Around the time I started hearing Hotshot, Psychic seemed to have gone missing. I was looking for them everywhere, but they were nowhere to be found. I ended up getting blown up by a creeper one night, and I woke up back in my bed from a nightmare. I didn't know how I made it back until I heard Hotshot in my head telling me that he brought me back here. I lost all my stuff. How did I get back here?
I brought you back.
Who are you?
Oh, don't you get it by now? I'm you.
But Hotshot didn't bring back my stuff, so I lost everything. I figured the only other person who might be able to help me was Underscore, so I went over to his base. When I got there, I found that the entrance to the end portal had been blown up. I knew something had gone down there, but I didn't know what. But I figured Underscore was up to something, and Psychic found out. Later on that day, after I went to sleep, I woke up and checked my secret cave in to see if there was anything suspicious. I found a sign which led me on a scavenger hunt that ended right back underneath my house, with a tiny replica of the mansion from the event on Minezone, and a sign begging me to remember. It had been Hotshot, trying to remind me of Minezone so that he could lure me into a false sense of security. Eventually I was able to remember. At that point I figured there was only one person left that I could trust, Sega. So I went to his house. You okay? You seem a bit on edge.
Wow. Yeah, sorry, I haven't got much sleep lately.
Yeah,
How have you been?
I've been alright. Sega was acting weird though. He hadn't been getting much sleep. I talked to him a bit about what I was doing here, and he told me I could trust him, which was nice because he's my friend. It's been hard to figure out who I can trust at this point. So,
Must be serious.
yeah, I just have a question.
Yeah.
Can I trust you?
I mean, I'd like to be a trustful guy, you know. I mean, I want to help everyone I can. So, yes, you can trust me.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sega seemed to know about Minezone, though, and when I was leaving his house, I overheard him say to himself,
No.
I think he was talking about how I knew about Minezone too. I think Sega had been having nightmares. But given that nothing like this ever came up again, there's no telling for sure. A few days later, a few people, including me, Sega, JPig, and a few others, met up at Spawn to discuss the insanity of what was going on.
Hello.
Okay, guys, what is going on? I leave my cave after like a month, and everything is what is happening. There's some strange things going on. I have to use the bathroom. That's not a lie. And I don't know.
Wait, what's going on?
What is going on?
What? I don't know either.
Sega, why do you look so tired? I have not seen like Stitch or Hashi. I don't know. Has anyone else seen anyone missing?
I don't know. People come.
I haven't seen Inky.
I honestly haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen Inky.
People were suddenly going missing left and right. The world was glitching, and Sega was also really tired. All of a sudden, Inky fell from the sky really randomly.
What is that? What Inky?
Hello.
What?
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, big news, everybody. So, the world's ending.
What? Hold on.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. There's some underscore. You know, bunny man. You know, scary bunny man.
Yeah.
He's trying to reset the world.
What?
It's you know,
Bunny
it's gonna
man?
happen soon.
Hey, wait.
We asked him what was going on, and he told us that underscore was in the end trying to incite a reset. In actuality, he was trying to stop the resets from ever happening again, but given the nature of his methods and his general aggressiveness, the Hourglass mistaken it for him trying to cause a reset early.
You tell me this whole war was fought in the fact that you guys can't communicate with each other properly?
I sat there mostly in silence as I realized I was correct in assuming underscore was up to something. Inky ran on his way back to underscore's base, and Sega ran back to his house. I followed Sega to make sure he was okay, but despite me watching him go into his house, the door was left open when I got there. I went inside, and he was somehow nowhere to be found. He just vanished. But on the second floor, there was a discoloration on the wall, and behind it was a small hallway with a book at the end. The book was written by Sega, and it was talking about his flashing memories of Minezone. I still have no idea what happened to Sega, but he was gone, despite returning for Daybreak later on. But on Inkwell, Sega was never seen again. On my way out of Sega's house, and on my way back to my own, I blacked out in the middle of the forest, and I woke up back in my bed, and immediately went to investigate further. I checked the tunnel I made above Psychic's underground base, and found a sign that said something terrible was about to happen. But this sign had been written before the terrible thing happened. Because, see, on my way to Psychic's base, I found that their house had been burned down. But I didn't think much of it. Hotshot did that, and right now, Hotshot also wasn't saying anything, which was strange. I mean, what? No, I wonder who could have burned down Psychic's base. After that, I went on my way to underscore's base. I knew the battle was in the end, so that's where I was going. But weirdly enough, I didn't actually have to go that far, because somehow I just found a weird random end portal near Psychic's base. But when I made it there, something was keeping me from going to the main part of the end. I had no idea what was wrong, but all of a sudden I got an extreme headache, and I passed out. Now I have a headache now. What was that? Oh, frick. Shoot. Oh. God. What's happening there? Oh. Everything hurts. Oh, no. At the same time, Psychic and the Hourglass were questioning Underscore on the edge of the end mainland. But I was having a battle with my alter ego, and I lost. Hotshot took control. Since Hotshot took control of me while I was sleeping, I was fighting for control of my own body while Hotshot, with invisibility potion, went to the edge of the end and watched everything play out. In the Inkwell movie, which you can actually watch on Psychic's channel, it's really good, you could see when the Hourglass were at the edge of the mainland that there were actually particles around. That's Hotshot watching everything play out. He returned to the spawn point of the end, and with full control now, he headed out of the end. At this point, the Hourglass had left the end and showed up back at spawn. Hotshot went back to the overworld as well, fully intending to go to spawn and see what they would say, but he didn't make it to spawn in time. About 3 months of the server went by before Hotshot noticed a flaw in his plan. He returned home one day to find that the house was blown up. See, Hotshot didn't technically take full control. My role and Hotshot's role inside my brain just swapped. I was originally the one who controlled the body most of the time, with Hotshot being limited to when I was sleeping. But when he beat me for control, he became the controller, and then I was the one who was giving the control when he was sleeping. Hotshot didn't notice that until the final weeks of the server. So he learned his lesson. As I said in the most recent Daybreak lore video titled Hotshot's End for Now, he took over, he wouldn't let me out, except when he was sleeping, which he didn't sleep very often, which was kind of weird. That's also the reason why when we left the nether roof that day, there were a bunch of phantoms that just popped up out of nowhere. Hotshot doesn't sleep, so that's why phantoms showed up. After I blew up Hotshot's house, Hotshot built a tower for some odd reason. I really didn't know why. He claimed it was because he needed somewhere to set up a new base. I still don't know why, considering the reset was coming in a matter of days. But Hotshot asked me what I remember, and I told him that I remember everything from Minezone. He asked if that was all I remembered, and I was confused. I asked what more there was to remember. Hotshot began walking until he found a random forest next to a mountain. But on our way there, he told me the story of what happened at the beginning. How Hotshot even exists. The server we are from, and how we made it to Minezone. He blew up and burned the forest down as the reset happened, and everything faded to black. We woke up to find we were falling from the sky, but Hotshot managed to land in the water at the top of the mountain we were on, Mount Zenith. There was a fountain in the center, as well as an arena for a fighting tournament we would have later on. Ozone and I had somewhat of a rivalry during the Sands of Time event on Minezone, so Hotshot immediately tried to create an ally, while Ozone began to hit him. But eventually it worked. Hotshot was trying to get as many resources as he could.
That man has golden pants, I want them.
Jeez, Ozone, stop!
Let's start a base.
Yo! Murder.
Right, Evan, we're making a base and we're calling it based.
What?
The based. Ozone!
I'll give you your resources if you make a base with me.
I will, but I need to do lore too.
Is this a hostage situation?
No, oh no. Crap hostage.
Look what I have.
Ozone's kind of obsessed with Evan. That's a little weird.
Look what I have.
A little awesome.
Uh-oh.
Who died here?
Congratulations.
That's me, Ouija. Don't take myself, please.
Okay.
Why don't leads work on people?
What? Taking Evan.
Isn't
what
that
are you doing?
Yeah. Sorry, Johnny.
Maybe a little.
Make a fishing rod, bro.
I don't think you should.
Ouija, I'm coming back. Don't take myself.
Yes, Deepest, I'm at the same place.
But it was Ozone who was begging Hotshot to go with him. At this point, no one knew Hotshot was still around. Everyone believed it to just be me, Evan. But nope, that's not the case. It was Hotshot. Ozone and Hotshot built a treehouse in a jungle, but Hotshot also began working on the ground level base. Hotshot wanted to have what he would call his own man cave. Underneath the house, hidden behind some furnaces, Hotshot had an underground man cave, filled with netherrack and lava. He also built a prison cell just in case he needed it one day. And one day there was another event, a sequel to the Psychic Isles, creatively titled The Psychic Isles 2. Yeah, very creative. But the event was hijacked by some strange being named Static, a being who had a vendetta against Psychic. Hotshot really liked Static, and not in the way that he was like in love with her. Honestly, I don't know if it's even possible for him to love, but he admired Static's vendetta against Psychic, and he was impressed with the way she carried out her plans. She made the Psychic Isles very deadly, but 10 times more fun. Even I'll admit that. About a month later, there was another event, the tournament. Basically, there was a bracket. People would fight, the winner would fight the winner of the other fight, and it resulted in Hotshot versus Psychic. But Hotshot, being the dickbag that he is, knowing that I'm not that good at PvP, gave me the control of her body during the final battle, against Psychic. He knew I would lose, he wanted to humiliate me, but maybe it's a good thing he didn't win, because the prize was a knockback stick. If Hotshot had gotten that, that would not have gone well for anyone. After the tournament, Inky made an announcement that the end would be closed off indefinitely, which was a problem for Hotshot. See, at the beginning of the server, he found something in the ground in a spot where a creeper almost blew him up. He survived, but it opened up a hole in the ground that revealed something buried there. In my videos, it hasn't actually been revealed yet, but I'll reveal it here. If you remember earlier, I mentioned that when Dr. Briggs was experimenting on the machine, it vanished. He was trying to see if he could make it go back a few resets. When it disappeared, the problem was that it didn't come back. Where did it go? Well, it went where it was meant to, a few resets back. It went to Daybreak, and the worst person who could have possibly found it, did. So why am I telling you this? Well, there's a problem with Inky closing off the end, at least for Hotshot. The problem is that the Dragon Egg is the power source for the machine. Hotshot knew he would need the dragon to power his machine. It was his backup plan. He didn't know if he would need it, but it was his backup plan. At that point, I didn't even know that. I could see everything he was doing, but I couldn't see everything he was thinking. Hell, even currently in the storyline, I don't even know what Hotshot's backup plan was right now. But because Hotshot was so pissed off that he was going to lose his opportunity to set up his backup plan into motion, Hotshot actually punched Inky a couple times. And if it weren't for what happened next distracting everyone, he might have gotten caught right then and there.
Alright, if everybody could gather around, I have a bit of an announcement before we all head out.
Oh, awesome, cool. What's up? What's up, Inky?
So, first off, thank you all for coming to the arena for the tournament. It was a lot of fun. I personally had a lot of fun.
Me too.
As well.
It was really fun.
A lot of fun winning and kicking Evan's butt.
Shut up.
Hey, everybody, let's calm down. I do have one more announcement. It may be a bit unpopular, but...
What do you mean? What's up?
Popular.
So, I've been giving it some...
Inky, it's pronounced GIF. I know it's unpopular, but it's pronounced GIF.
It's really not... Okay, okay. Calm down, calm down.
There's water right here, Psychic. You're an idiot.
Can I have food?
He was already off fire.
Psychic, you're an idiot.
Yes, after careful consideration, I have decided that for the general health and safety of the public, I will be closing the end dimension indefinitely.
Wait, what?
Wait,
you can't do that.
You can't make that kind of rule.
I know you may be upset and confused.
What are you talking about?
Please trust management in this time. I am not.
I do not trust management.
Okay,
you're the one in charge.
Just calm down. Calm down. Now, like, really, this is for everyone's own good.
Is it?
Oh,
yes,
good. You just put us through.
Is it, Inky? Are you sure?
So you're saying
we should get to decide this. This should be a vote.
No.
So you're saying,
Yeah, we should have. We should at least have some say in this.
Listen, I'm
At
sorry.
least
It is not.
Why?
This is just a matter of public safety. I'm just took it into my own hands here. It's for everyone's own good.
Underwater until you can't breathe.
No, let's not do that. That sounds like a bad idea. Now, this is really for the sake, everyone's safety. You know, everyone, including. Oh no. Where's Psychic?
I don't know, but I gotta get going.
Vault.
Yeah.
Why leaving so soon?
I just gotta go. I have plans.
You're pretty close with Psychic.
I mean,
Vault, you're acting awfully suspicious. Are you okay?
Wait, just because our houses are 5 blocks apart doesn't mean I know that he's
Wait,
on top
whoa.
of that mountain where the nether portal is.
What the hell is that?
Follow Vault's eye line.
What? Oh no.
What the hell? But when Vault tried to leave really suspiciously, we realized there was something at the top of the mountain. Vault kinda spilled the beans. And so Hotshot, Inky, Vault, Jay, and Jen headed to the top of the mountain. Vault was trying to cover for Psychic and stop us from going in, but he couldn't stop us. We went inside the nether portal that we found at the top of the mountain, and it led us to a weird-looking chamber.
Let's talk this out first. Let's talk this out first.
Wait. Can we
No, Vault! Get out of the way! What is happening? What the...
Nothing's happening, guys. It's fine. We're all
What's
fine.
going on?
You sure, Vault?
Come on, it's time. Come on.
What the? What the hell?
What are you doing?
He's not. There's nothing happening. It's
Psychic!
here.
Whoops.
Wait, what's the end?
What the?
What?
No.
No, we gotta go. Go.
No, what the?
What have you done?
What?
We gotta go. No time. We gotta go.
Underscore.
It's about time.
What are you? Psychic! What
Get back here!
I knew you could do it.
As soon as we got inside, Psychic yelled that it's time. The dragon egg was right there, right in Hotshot's grasp. Psychic had it and used it to power the revival chamber. Yes, back at the end of Inkwell, Psychic killed Underscore. But afterwards, Psychic found a memory, an image of when everything was good, when they were all just friends. Psychic realized that what they believed Underscore to be doing on Inkwell, that couldn't be the same one they knew before. So Psychic believed Underscore had his own reasons for what he did. So Psychic, using Underscore's anchor items, revived him. The dragon egg was right at Hotshot's fingertips, but thank God he got distracted by Underscore. Everyone chased Psychic and Underscore, but they managed to get away as a few people fell a bit behind. They looked around for a few minutes, but eventually gave up. But Hotshot didn't. It took him hours before he gave up. He didn't remember to go back and get it. He completely forgot it was there. He forgot about the dragon egg. We had some banter back and forth for a bit, but then when Hotshot got home, he realized that he left his man cave thing unblocked. So we went into it, and he saw the very thing he was most terrified of. J-Pig stood in the middle of the room. But there's something I feel I should mention about J-Pig. Basically, an outside entity, some kind of virus thingy, latched itself onto his account, and he takes control of it sometimes. And let's just say this guy is not that nice of a guy. As it turns out, J-Pig and Vault are on Psychic's side in the war, but this entity, named J-Pug, is not quite loyal, and he wants nothing more than to watch the world burn.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
But Hotshot wants the world to just be his. But J-Pug at this point just wants to turn on Psychic. I don't know why, I mean, this timeline is mostly just from my perspective, so I don't know the lore behind that. But J-Pug bad, Hotshot bad, so team up. So Hotshot comes up with a plan. J-Pug finds the prison cell, and Hotshot says that it might just come in handy in his quest to defeat Underscore. And J-Pug says that it definitely will. After J-Pug leaves, Hotshot builds a small tower on Mount Zenith and calls Inky there. He asked Inky what he was going to do about Psychic, and he said that he doesn't really know what he's going to do, but he will do what he has to. And right now, it looks like a fight. But then Hotshot says that we probably need to find out where they are hiding. Inky noticed Hotshot use the word "we," and that began Inky's crew. I guess similar to the new Resistance in that we are going against Psychic. Soon after, Inky called a meeting with everyone in the crew. Himself, Sega, Jen, and of course Hotshot. The first move was to go to Inky's base to get some supplies using a canal that he made called the Sunrise Canal. But it seemed Psychic had gotten there first. There were a bunch of signs leading down into the canal, saying stuff like, "I like your house," and "cool house," and stuff like that. The canal was blocked off as well. They weren't stupid and they could just break the barrier, but when the crew made it to Inky's house, it was completely covered in bamboo, and inside his house was a sign that said, "You've been bamboozled," which Inky didn't like because it was such a stupid joke. They then checked Psychic's old base to see if they could find anything, but they couldn't find anything there. But then Hotshot realized he had to go to meet up with J-Pug. he left and met him in the Nether. J-Pug then led Hotshot to the base, so that he could tell Inky, and they could all go there together and win the war, but then also enact a plan of their own. Hotshot returned to the crew and found they didn't leave Psychic's old base because they didn't want to leave the one place Hotshot knew they were. When he got back, the crew questioned him, and Hotshot explained that he knows where the Runaways' base is.
The server's safety is at stake.
I know where their base is.
Oh, well, that's
for
wonderful.
They thought that was great, but they also found a book about the dragon egg, talking about how it could be used as a power source and stuff like that. There's nothing for the first 3 pages. On the 4th page, Ender Dragon Egg. This item serves as both a power and a store of a source of power and a store of it. It represents life and rebirth. This item is extremely rare, only coming from the end dimension.
So it looks like they were researching it.
I guess so.
Indeed.
They then went on their way to the Runaways' base. When they made it there, they couldn't find anything at first until they started hearing Jay and Volt talking. Inky found a very suspicious looking waterfall. It was suspicious because it was on a mushroom island, and there weren't waterfalls on mushroom islands. And this one looked artificial. Someone built this. Inky, where are you?
I don't think there are many waterfalls on mushroom islands.
And behind the waterfall, they all saw Volt and Jay. They asked them where Psychic is, and they questioned why Inky's crew was asking, because they believed Inky's crew had them.
Listen, okay.
Where is Psychic? And more importantly, where is Underscore?
Question. Wait, what do you mean where is Psychic? You have him.
What?
What?
You have him locked up in the end. That's why we're not allowed to go there. You built a super prison there, and that's why we're not allowed.
Yeah.
Inky, is the end even open?
No.
As it turns out, Psychic was kidnapped, but not by Inky's crew, but by Static. The crew ended up busting their way in and found a tunnel, and Inky found Underscore hiding in a wall. They all fought each other until Psychic showed up. Psychic and Inky agreed they should stop fighting and just hear Underscore out. And Underscore finally revealed that he was just trying to stop the resets. Pug hated that because he likes violence and destruction. Pug and Hotshot agreed they had to do something, so they enacted their plan. Pug created a small distraction, asking why Inky was the only one to have his armor still on after telling everyone to stop fighting, not to mention the fact that Inky was also using borrowed armor from Sega.
This is a lot to take in.
We need to do something.
Yeah. No, we gotta lure him out of the room.
Yeah.
What? Hey,
nothing, don't worry.
Off, how come it's Inky is the only one that still has his armor on after he just said to put down his weapons?
Inky, I didn't even give
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's my armor.
Let me give this back to you.
Yeah.
Or still has his armor on, but you know.
Half this stuff is yours. Actually, no, way more than half.
Yeah, I gave you like all my inventory.
Underscore. You're not safe here. Exit the room. Go. Go with Evan. He'll keep you safe. Go. Go, go, go.
Come with me.
Wait, am I safe here?
Come with me.
What?
That's fine.
Pug told Underscore that he's not safe here and to go with Evan, or Hotshot. I mean, he just said Evan to not blow Hotshot's cover just yet, but still, Hotshot. Anyway, everyone else questioned what Pug was talking about, whether or not they were safe there, and then Pug blocked them all in the room and Hotshot left with Underscore.
Wait.
What are you doing? So the problem that we're all having is you're all losers. Bye.
What? Wait, what? Underscore, come back!
Should I
Come
be?
with me.
Oh gosh.
Underscore could tell something was wrong, and he kept trying to resist, but Hotshot didn't let him.
It's going on.
Now.
Wait,
Go.
this doesn't feel right.
Do we go after it? No.
Get him.
Go.
Where'd he go?
Up.
Jeez.
Now.
Jay, where'd they go? What is this?
Don't even know.
This way.
Hotshot led Underscore all the way to his house and locked him in the jail cell underneath.
Sorry, Jay, but for your
Get
own good.
in.
I'll see you later.
You gotta be kidding me.
Get in.
No.
Now.
Oh god. Oh god.
Get inside now. Hotshot was so satisfied to see Underscore as his prisoner. Then Pug showed up and asked if Hotshot installed a pit of lava underneath the jail cell. But Hotshot told him it was not quite a pit of lava. And Pug got excited because that meant something was down there. Confused yet?
Did you install the pit of lava underneath like I told you to?
Oh goodness.
Not quite a pit
where
of
are
lava, but you'll
I don't
see.
know.
You'll see.
There is something down.
Underscore started panicking. Hotshot noticed that the others were almost here, so he flicked a lever, and Underscore's jail cell blew up. I think it's time for you to go. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
Nice
think I know where
music.
they are.
Well, there's a house down there.
Yeah, that's Ozone's house.
You're about to
but-
blow up, so if
Hey,
if you think there is a way for you to get out, I recommend you try it. But yeah, there's no escape for you, underscore.
This isn't copyrighted, is it?
Oh
Nope.
no. Oh no.
Oh no, the worst of them all.
It's time for us to go.
Whoa, what?
It's time for us to go.
Wait, hold on, I see names.
Hi!
Names too.
Welcome to my house. Pug and Hotshot left and went on their way to the revival chamber. Hotshot wanted to go get the dragon egg from there, but it wasn't there. He didn't say anything and just tried to block off the nether portal, but we heard Psychic talking to underscore. He was alive, and Hotshot was utterly pissed off. He failed. He and Pug blocked off to the nether portal so they couldn't get in, but when they came, they were able to break out. Hotshot ran out of the revival chamber, running away from everyone, turning around to shoot whoever got too close. But then Psychic told Hotshot that they had an acquaintance who feeds off of hate and misery. And then appears Static.
Psychic.
Who's that?
What?
Oh!
I don't call myself your acquaintance either, but...
You owe me one.
I, while writing this, know exactly what happened, but I'm explaining this from my perspective of my character who has no idea what happened, so I'll just say Psychic and Static are friendly now.
Hey, baby girl, how you doing?
Bruh. At first, Hotshot is excited to see Static. As I said before, he admires the way she does stuff. But when he realizes what she's here for, Hotshot runs away. He fights Sega for a little bit until he is banned from the server.
What? Hey,
what? You gone?
Is it done?
No. No!
They're gone.
I got back online. Hotshot was gone. Psychic explains that Static owed them something, so Psychic asked Static to trap Hotshot and lock him inside my head. So Hotshot was gone right now, and I was free. But we didn't know if Hotshot would stay gone forever. So I told everyone, I couldn't see everything that Hotshot was thinking. I could see everything he was doing, but I couldn't see everything he was thinking. But there was one part of his plan that, like, he had a backup plan, and I don't know what it was, but I know it involved the dragon egg. And
oh no. Where's the egg?
I don't know. I don't even know if he can come back out, but just in case he can, I advise that you guys just don't.
You mean this dragon egg?
Keep the dragon egg away from me, please. I'm still a bit skeptical about underscore, but if everyone else trusts him, I think I do too. I left everyone and went to Hotshot's house. There was a fire and lava man cave under it. There was a jail cell under it. He kept my friend in that jail cell and tried to blow him up. I hated this place, and I never wanted to see it again. So I burned down the house, and I walked away. I made a non-verbal but public apology, and then I went to the tower Hotshot made and sat there, and I just sighed to myself. And that's all. Now you're all up to date on the storyline of ImpulseEvan and Hotshot on the Minezone SMP, the Inkwell SMP, and the Inkwell SMP Daybreak. But you may have noticed there are a few loose threads. What happened to J-Pug? Well, Psychic got sick of him, and...
You know what, Jay? Mr. J-Pug?
Shut up.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm kind of sick of you, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sick of all of you too.
Me too, you used me. Or not me, but...
Oh. Goodbye. I'll see you later.
Well, I suppose if it works.
Yeah. He's gone. But there's other stuff. What was Hotshot's backup plan? What was he planning with the machine? Well, this is just a reminder that the story is not over yet. So stay tuned for any and all future gameplay and or lore videos to stay up to date on the storyline. But I'm going to end the video there. Hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, then please do leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!